Mode of discourse. Process analysis presentation. There are 7 modes of discourse. Today we will only be focusing on one of them. Process analysis. What is process analysis? First, let's break it down. A process is an operation that moves through a series of steps to bring about a desired result.
A process can be a natural thing like the birth of a baby, a physical thing like building a house, a mechanical thing like flipping on a light switch, or a mental thing like thinking.
An analysis is an operation that divides something into parts to understand and examine the whole more clearly. For example, poetry readers analyze the lines of a poem individually to find meaning. When writing process analysis, you are usually trying to achieve 2 goals: giving directions and providing information. The 2 goals are difficult to separate sometimes because when giving directions you must also provide some background information on the subject, but usually you will be able to separate them. To explain these goals, giving direction helps readers with the goals they need instruction for.
An example may be, you guiding them on how to knit a Christmas sweater. Providing information gives insight on a topic the reader doesn't know much about. It could be something as little as what goes on in the female body during pregnancy and as big as sneaking into another country.
Another crucial area in your analysis would be determining your audience. You must know if you are writing to them; if so, you would be giving direction. If you are writing for them, you would be providing information. When writing, you must also determine the knowledge gap between you and your audience to figure out what material to leave in and what to take out. For example, if you are the teacher of an advanced auto buddy class, you will not have to explain the basic terms and processes of a car as opposed to a second-grade teacher that is covering fractions for the first time. If your topic has special words or terms included, be sure to include a definition or explanation, preferably on the same page, so that the reader can understand the context the word is used in.
When writing a process analysis essay, a key area is making your sequence of steps as clear as possible to the reader. When done writing the step, include why the step is needed or important.
Depending on the process you are explaining, you may have to give the reader cautions such as: do not cut out any steps, do not invert or reverse any steps, do not ignore steps within steps, etc. Examples that you can include to demonstrate your steps are: pictures. This includes things like graphs and charts to physically show the process. Anecdotes, where you can touch on your personal experience with the steps and tell your results. And comparisons. You may be able to connect the process you are demonstrating to a process the reader already knows to show it is not as complicated as it seems. In closing, the points to remember are: arrange your steps in chronological order. Fully express or explain the purpose of each step in your process. Define and describe each special term, tool, and task required for your process. Give warnings about skipping or altering steps that should not be tampered with within your process. And provide illustrations to clarify parts of your process. Campus Racism by Nikki Giovanni.
There is a bumper sticker that reads, "Too bad ignorance isn't painful." I like that. But ignorance is. I am Nikki Giovanni, a tenured black professor at predominantly white Virginia Tech. Whether from malice or ignorance, people who think I should be at a predominantly black institution will ask, "Why are you at Tech?" Because it's here. And so are black students. Black colleges cannot accommodate black students who desire an education, in contrast to white colleges. Compared to prison, a white college provides greater knowledge and opportunities for yourself and others. Despite these benefits, interaction with the white American mentality is inevitable or unavoidable. But unlike prison, there are methods to address ignorant remarks from students. You can take action to have them expelled or suspended. Although uncomfortable, enrolling into a predominantly white college is superior to living in a racist world. Here are some rules that one can follow to survive on a predominantly white and racist campus. Go to class. No matter how you feel and think the professor feels about you, a consistent presence in the classroom is important. The professor will know you care and are serious about being there.
Meet the professor. Give them a firm handshake and tell them your name. Ask them what you need to pass. In doing so, you have put them on notice that you are serious about getting good grades.
Do assignments on time. Follow the syllabus and turn in your papers. If you cannot meet the deadline before it is due, let your professors know, so you can work out a new due date and meet it. Go back to see your professors. Tell them your name again. If an assignment receives less than an A, ask why, so you can find out what you need to do to improve. Both you and your professor are busy, and so are your parents who are working hard to pay for your tuition. Ask early on what is required of you if you feel you are starting to get in academic trouble. Do not wait until you start slipping up and are about to fail. Understand that there will be professors who do not like you. There will be professors who are racist or sexist or both. You will have to discriminate between your professors to see who will help you. Refrain from saying they are all against me. They're not. They don't care. Since you are the one looking for an education, find the people who want to help. Don't defeat yourself. Identify your friends and know your enemies. Think for yourself and speak up. Raise your hand in class. Always say what you believe even if it may sound awkward. You will improve your articulation and confidence. Participate in campus activities. Join the campus newspaper staff. Run for office. Join a dorm council. Do something that involves your presence on campus. If not felt, let your existence be known because you will be there for 4 years. At some point in school, you will run into white classmates who are annoying because they say stupid things, ask stupid questions, and expect an answer from you. Here are some comebacks to their inquiries and comments.
Can you give us the Black perspective on slavery and Martin Luther King Jr.?
I can only give you my perspective. Don't take the burden of 22 million people on your shoulders. Remind everyone that you are an individual, and you cannot speak for an entire race or individuals within.
Why do all the Black people sit together in the cafeteria?
Why do all the white students sit together?
Why are there so many scholarships for minority students?
Because they wouldn't give my great-grandparents their 40 acres of land and the mule.
When I see groups of Black people on campus, it's really intimidating.
I understand what you mean. I'm frightened when I see white students congregating.
It's not fair. It's easier for you guys to get into college than for other people.
Well, if it's so easy, why aren't there more of us? You could have all the comebacks in the world and they still wouldn't understand. Educating the ignorant is a waste of time. Instead of educating white people, one should instead work hard to obtain an education. Why? Because educational progress is a national concern, education is a private one.
With my advice, learn to properly navigate through predominantly white colleges and improve yourself as a worthy individual.
College is a trial for the real world. Take advantage of the experience and practice what you want to be. Be the mature grown-up you always thought yourself to be.
As explained previously, Rules 1 through 4 and Rule 7 are physical processes because they require you to perform actions. Rule 5 and 6 are mental processes because they require you to change a certain mindset. Nikki Giovanni gave information to the readers about surviving in a majority white school. She was writing for an intended audience of Black people. She determined that her audience doesn't have much experience.
Nikki had first-hand knowledge of racism that occurred in colleges because she is a Black professor at a predominantly white college, and she experienced racism from her colleagues. The most important strategy that she used was the sequence of steps. She used specific words such as racism and predominantly.
Nikki Giovanni's processes were clear and she used pictures to illustrate her steps. She broke down each rule into further parts, so her audience could understand clearly. She also gave the audience examples of some racist and stupid comments and questions that white students say or ask. Process analysis was the perfect mode of discourse to explain this piece.